So good morning, students, and welcome back to your computer class after a long time. Now, as you have come into class 7th, we will first of all revise a little of the class 6th portion. So for the information and for your benefit, I'm taking the chapter on QBasic, and then slowly I will also revise the other section which is relevant to class 7th. Whatever portion we have touched upon in class 6 and is relevant to class 7, we will be revising all that. So don't worry, we will go into detailed study afterwards, but now we are just going to revise whatever we have studied in class 6. So in class 6, students, we did different types of softwares. We studied about the computer system configuration in detail. We studied about MS Word application. We studied about MS Excel. We studied about MS PowerPoint. And we also studied about QBasic programming language. So I'll start with QBasic programming language because that was the last topic of your previous class. And I know many of you may be interested in knowing about the programming aspect of this particular language. So first we'll take a review into this, and for that, as you all know, we need to share the screen because it becomes important that you see what is being done at the same time. Otherwise, computer is a part, or rather is a subject which needs to be understood practically. So if I just keep speaking about things, it is not going to interest you, and neither are you going to understand. So rather, I will share the screen whenever I teach, like the mode of working or explanation has been in the previous classes. And I was very happy with the output, as most of you fared very well in the subject. So that means all of you have followed the previous class, and we'll keep the same mode of explanation and understanding as long as we are online. Of course, offline also we need to do our practicals, but on the online, I need to share the screen. So I'll start now with QBasic, and I want you all to open your 6th class books, because we'll take the 6th class portion, which is also relevant to class 7, and then maybe slowly we will also explain or learn about the portion which is in class 7, that is your present class. So for the beginning, I want you all to open page 146. You can open directly to page 146, that is Introduction to QBasic. And I want you to keep your books open of your class 6 so that you can follow whatever I'm explaining. Slowly, we'll do all the commands once again, a revision of that. Okay, so without wasting much time, I'll now share my screen with all of you. Okay, and I'm loading on to QBasic. Now here, students, you have QBasic already installed, QBasic 64. I told you how to download it in class 6. So all of you, I presume, have downloaded it and have it installed. It is a very small software, and you need to install this into your systems. It functions on any type of operating system, whether you're using Windows 7 or you're using Windows 10, it doesn't matter. All you need to is install QBasic 64. That has to be installed. Now this is already installed with mine, and I have it open over here. So as soon as I click, this is your screen which will open. Now students, please don't pay attention to this particular part. Sorry. Please don't pay attention to this particular coding. This particular coding is only meant for me to explain the output section, because otherwise the output section, when I write a program, will be very, very small. You will not be able to view it if you're viewing on your mobile phones. So therefore, please don't pay attention to this section. This section is got nothing to do with the coding or with coding you need to understand. Ours is just simple coding. This coding I have written only to enlarge the size of the screen. So please don't worry about this, and neither do I want you to write this particular section anywhere in your programs either. You will get a blank screen. This is only meant for me to explain to you how the output will look, to enlarge the output. That is all. All right. So we start with basic. Now, as you can all see over here, students, this is your basic screen, right? I'll just maybe over here, and I'll pull this down so it becomes a little relevant for me also. Okay. Yeah. So here now you can see this is your menu bar. As you can see, open your books also. At the same time, you will see over here where you have your complete QBasic 64 window. Now this is your menu bar as it is displayed. Then you have your work area. This section is your work area. This is your status section. The status section means whenever you write any coding, and if it is anything is wrong, suppose I just write something over here, A. Now it has no meaning. So it is giving syntax error on current line. So this basically tells you if there is an error, it is prompting you for any type of error. So as soon as your program is correct, it will show you over here, okay. So this is the status section. This area is your coding window where you write all your codes. This is your menu bar as it is displayed in your particular figure 9.1. So all of you can open your books onto page 146 and see in 9.1 itself, right? And of course, right on top over here, if you're wondering what is this untitled, this is the name of the program. So when we will file and we will save this program by a name, this name will change. This name will change. We will see that as we write a program, when we write the programs. Now, creating a new program. So first of all, you click on File, as you all know, and you write New. So as soon as you write New, you will get this type of a screen which will open. It will be a new screen which will be opening. I've already opened it, so I'm not going to write New. Okay. The new file opens and the program name is Untitled. You can see here Untitled. Every time you create a new program, it will come as Untitled unless and until you save the program. After saving the program, if you have written whatever program it is, then you come into File and you click on Save. Or if you want to change the path and the name, then you click on Save As, and you will see over here this type of program that is coming, and it will be saved by whatever name you want to save it by. Suppose I want to save it by Fab 1. And wherever I want to save it, I will take whichever drive destination I want and I will save it. It will show me over here F Pen Software's QB64, and it is saving into your F at the moment. And if you want to change it, you can change it. You can change it to path E. So wherever you want, you can change your path. So you can just come and click on wherever you want to have your path. right? So this is as regards saving your program. Again, I repeat, click on File, and the first time you have to do is click on Save As. It will tell you untitled.base. So please see that whenever you save this program, it should be saved by the name of, let us say, this is your file name .bas. This is your extension name, which is a must. So this program is saving in the path F Pen Software's QB64. This is the path I have set to save this program. And the file name is always written, I have written fab1. You can write anything, and you remember to give the extension by the name of .bas. Okay, so as soon as I say okay, you can see over here the file name, although I have not written anything here, it is saved by the name of fab1. So once I write the details over here, this will be saved by this file name. Every time I create a file, I want to save it, I can save it by a new name. Every program you can save as a new file or as a new program. So now we come directly to what are constants and what are variables. So for that, I'll again try to explain to you in detail what are constants and what are variables. So I'll just stop the screen for 1 minute and then I'll come back to the screen again. So it is a little visible. So students, when I spoke of programming, I said there are two types of values. One are constants and one are variables. What is a constant? A constant is a value which is fixed. It will not change during the execution of the program. It remains the same. And what is a variable? A variable is a value which can be altered or it can be changed during the execution of the program. Suppose I write a program and I give a fixed value to a particular constant. Okay? So that value will remain fixed. And constants are of two types, numeric constants and string constants. Numeric constants are values which are only numbers. They can be integers or they can be decimal values. They can be positive or they can be negative values. We will of course go further into what are the different types of integers. There is float, there is long int, there is short int, but that is afterwards. For now, just remember that constants are of two types. Integers used for storing numbers, or numeric constants as we call it. So numeric constants are those values which store only numbers. And what type of numerics? Simple integer values or even decimal values, positive or negative. Then the second type of constant is called string constant. String constants can store alphanumeric or alphabetic values. Alphabetic values like your name, your school name, or alphanumeric value like your address of a house. Sometimes we have a house address as, let us say, 34 oblique H oblique, let us say, Talwandi. Now 34 is a number, okay, H is an alphabet, and Talwandi is again alphanumeric. So when we store these type of values, which has a combination of numbers and alphabets, or even simple alphabets, then we store them to strings. But string constant is a value which is fixed. So constant, whenever I use the word constant, it means a value which is fixed. Suppose I say the fan is working at a constant speed. That means it has a fixed speed. It does not change. So constant, as the word derives, means fixed value. And constants are again of two types. Numeric constants used for storing numbers. They can be integer values, whole integers, or even decimals, negative as well as positive, that is plus or minus. And string constants, which are used for storing, you can store numbers also to strings. But basically it is meant for storing not only alphanumeric but alphabetic values also. Then we come to what are variables. Now variables are values which change. Every time you execute the program, you run a program, if you enter a value, a new value, that value when it is stored to any type of file allocation, then it is called as a variable, right? So a variable is a value which varies. So that value can be also a numeric or a string. Only difference is when we write the coding, we write it a little differently. Variables will always have the input statement. It asks for the user input. A constant may be used with an ordinary let statement, or it can be used without a let statement also. So constants, the value, whenever it is stored, it is fixed and it is used with or without a let statement. Variables are always used with the input statement. This is because we are studying about different statements. Also, we will correlate. Okay. So now once again, I'll come and share my screen and I'll write a simple program using the combination of first a numeric constant, a string constant. Then I will try to use a numeric variable and then I will use a string variable. I've already done this in class 6, but I'm just repeating it once again for you, and then we'll move on slowly further. So let us screen share, and we are here on our screen share section. Just need relevant once again. So that is it. All right. So like I told you students, coming to the statements also, I told you it is given over there a rem statement. Now what is a rem statement? It is a remark statement. It is just given, suppose my first program in so this statement, as you can see, will come in yellow color, and it is, you can say, a dead statement. It is only used for giving a remark. Okay, is that clear, everybody? The rem statement is used for giving a remark. This statement is also, the definition is mentioned, if you can see, on page number 153 of your 6th class book. Sorry. Yeah. So, rem statement is a statement used to give remarks or comments in a program. This statement is not executed. Okay. The computer ignores the rem statement. A single quote can also be used for a rem statement, but we generally use the double quotes. Now we come to the constants and the variable part. And then we will take, of course, the CLS statement and the AND statement also. So let us say, let A is equal to 25. Now, whenever you type even in small and it is a keyword, it will always come in capital. These are keywords or commands. So I'm typing the word let, but because it is a keyword, it will always come or turn into capitals. Now I'll take another one. B is equal to 12. Right? Now I'll say simply print A. Print also is a keyword. And then I'll say print B. And last statement is always end. So I've said let A is equal to 25, let B is equal to 12, print A and print B. Now I run this either by clicking over here run and start, or I can also press my F5 key. It will say creating an exe file, and it will now show you your file with the output. So here you can see output. This is why I have written that coding. So you can see it in 25 and 12. So this is what the output is of this particular program. You said A is equal to 25, B is equal to 12, print A and print B. Okay. Now we'll take another statement and we'll add it over here. And let us say, let C dollar is equal to, in quotes, St. Paul's Mala Road, Utah. Okay, this is C dollar, what we have written. And let us simply over here print C. Caps lock doesn't matter. And now I run the program. It takes a little time to execute the program. Every time you run it, it takes a little time. Now students, press any key to continue. Why is this 0 coming? Okay. Now here you wrote C dollar and here I wrote C. So when I executed this program, it came as 0. Now here what I made a mistake is I did not put your dollar sign. So now you put a dollar sign and now you run your program again. So I purposely put C over there to show you that when you put C, you will get the value as 0. Because over here, you have stored it as a string, C dollar. And this value is stored over here. St. Paul's Mala Road is stored to C dollar. So if I don't put a dollar sign here, this will not print as St. Paul's Mala Road. Okay. This is the reason why it did not print. Now similarly, I can write something else also. Let D dollar is equal to 123 dash Dada body. Now this 123 Dada body, as you can see, is a combination of alphabets, special characters and digits. Now here again, remember you have to always put the dollar sign with the variable or the constant that you have stored. Here I have used D dollar. So if I leave it as D and I print the value, it will come 0. So what I have to do is, like I did, put a dollar sign, run your program, It takes a little time to run the program every time. That is because, okay, and you can see here 2512 St. Paul's Mala Road, Kota 123 Dadabadi. Now this Dadabadi is coming as a result of printing the variable D dollar. Okay, so this is what is happening. Now students, every time I run this program, I'll just stop this program once again, okay, and I'll show it to you. It is running over there. It's saying starting the program. It takes a little time to run, and here it is. Now this, every time I run the program, this value will come the same. It will not change. Every time I run this program, the value will remain the same. Again, if I run it, again the same value. That means that these values are fixed. These are constant values. These will not change. So then in that case, if I want to change a value, how do I change a value? So we'll make a little difference, and over here, I'll just use another statement which is known as the input, and I'll say a value X. Okay. Now I'll say input Y, and I'll say input Z dollar. Now what I done is I added over here after these two constant values input X, input Y, input Z dollar. Now, sorry, you cannot see because the light is gone. So I understand. So please bear with me. This is a little problematic issue at the moment. The lights are very dim over here and the light is gone particular. For this, I'll try and put on the light. So you just can bear a little bit of the picture. This is the last of the class and then I'll explain it tomorrow. So after that, we said these were the values that we had stored to strings, right? And now I'll just remove this from here and I'll instead put it over here. Input Z dollar. So these are some values which are stored with the let statement. We have added an input statement also. And now we will now go and use all the print statements at the bottom. So let us bring this up first. So we have already print A, we have print B. Now we will say print X, right? Then we'll say print and Y. Then we'll see, we already have, I think, over here at the bottom. We have C and D, and last of all, we'll say print Z dollar. All right, so I've combined these all and I've mixed them up a little bit. Okay, let A is equal to 25, let B is equal to 12. These are two numeric constants. Input X and input Y, these are two numeric variables. Let C dollar and let D dollar, these are two string constants. And input Z dollar, remember input always used with a variable, and because it has got a dollar, it becomes a string variable. and we'll just print the outputs of all these values and show it to you once. So we'll run this program and we'll see that the values, what I want you to see is what values are already stored to constants will be displayed automatically, and they will not change, neither will they ask the user to be inputted. Only the values where I've used input statement will ask you to enter a new value every time. Okay, so we start this program once. So this question mark is for this X. It is not asking you the value of A, neither it is asking you the value of B, because these are fixed values. So it is asking you the value of input X. So let me take, for example, a value, let us say 75. I'm storing it to X. I press the enter key, again a question mark asking me to input the value of Y. I say 100. Now again I press the enter key, it asks another question mark. This question mark is for this value, that is Z dollar. Now here suppose I write Fabian. So I stored the value of 75 to X, I stored the value of 100 to Y, and I stored the value of Fabian to Z dollar. These are input values and these are variables. These values will change every time I run the program. Please remember, these values, these three values will change every time, whereas the rest of the values will remain fixed or constants. Now when I print, you will see all these values be printed. I have only entered three values, please pay attention. But when I print, it will print 7 values. So as soon as I press the enter key over here, you will see this is what is being printed. That is over here, Fabian, after entering, A is 25, which you have got from here. B is 12, which I have got from here. X is 75, which I got by entering the value on top of this. It is gone up. Y is this 100. C dollar is this value, St. Paul's, which I have got over here. You can see it is already fixed. D dollar is 123 Dadabadi, and Z dollar, I used it again with the input, so I got the value Fabian, which was entered to Z dollar. So this is how values that are variables and constants actually work. These are how constants and variables work. So I hope you have understood what is a constant and what is a variable and how these values actually work. So again I repeat, all constant values to be used with the let statement, all variable values to be used with the input statement. Constants, whether it is a numeric constant, like these two, A and B are numeric constants, and C dollar and D dollar are string constants, so I put the dollar sign behind the whatever value I'm storing it to, and always enclose the value in quotes. This value has to be put in double quotes whenever you are using a string. Here I have not put any quotes. Simply I have used it without putting quotation mark. But when I'm using a string, then this has to be, when it is a fixed constant value, it has to be put within quotes. And over here, D again, you have to put it within quotes, right? Now with the input statement, I would like to also make a little changes. Now many a times we don't understand what is this input X. Okay, so let us say we'll put a little value, a little message over here. Input, enter third value. This is a message. It's coming in yellow color and it is put in. Don't confuse with this. Input statement, no equal to sign is used. What I'm putting in quotes is a message and I've added a semicolon. So this will display a message every time what is to be entered to X. So I'm just writing this. All right. And here, what I'm trying to do is I'll use a print statement also. First value. With the print statement, also you can put a message. Second value. Third value. All right. Fourth value. So I'm giving a message here. Please no equal to sign to be used. Only equal to be sign to be used with constant when you're using the let. No equal to be sign to be used with input. No equal to sign to be used with print. None of these require an equal to sign. Okay. So please pay attention to this part. Now I've given this just to show you what will display. Now I've used these four statements with this print statement, and here I can also use fifth value. These are values basically. So I'm writing it as a value. Okay. I'm using the word value. You can write anything you wish to within the string. String is just a message. It is just something so the user knows what he is entering into this. Whatever data is being entered into this. That is just used as a simple message. So now this is it. Okay. Now again I'll go into file. I can give save. So this value of mine is saved. Now you see here, these are values which are fixed. I've used an input, enter third value with X. I have not used anything with Y just to show you what is the difference when I run this program. Okay. And neither have I used anything with the Z dollar. So whenever I run these values, the value that will be asked with the question mark. So over here, if I want to enter anything over here, let me say city name. Okay. So I'll enter a city name over here to Z dollar. Now I'm running this program and you see what is the output going to display. So as you can see on your screen, it is saying starting the program. Now here it is showing you enter third value directly. Why is it asking third value? Because here these are constants, and I told you constant values will not ask for any value. They are already fixed. It is only the input statement which will ask for the value. This input statement, and this input statement will ask you for the values. Nothing else will be displayed when it comes to the value part. So enter third value. Let me say I'll enter a value now, which is a 34. Last time I had put 75. Now I'm putting 34. As soon as I press enter key, please see the difference between these two statements. This is saying third, enter third value. This will only give me a question mark because I have not put any message here. So input Y is just giving question mark. Now I can enter any value over here. Let me enter a value 45. And as soon as I press the enter key, it is asking city name. Why? Because with the input here I have used city name as your particular message. What I put in quotes with the input statement, I repeat, is a message. What I use with the let statement is a value. Please do not confuse these two. So city name, suppose I put Jaipur. And now I press the enter key. You will see over here, first value 25, okay, B 12, third value, this is printing this set of statements. So if you see over here, don't read this city name, this was the last statement. We'll put a CLS just now and we'll show it to you, right? So first value 25, this is this first value. Second value B 12. Third value which I entered 34. This time I changed it from 75. Last time I had entered 75. Now I have entered 34 because it is a variable. In a variable I can change every time I execute the program. I can change the value. That's what I told you. Then the fourth value input Y I entered 45. But it is coming here as a string. If you're wondering why is this coming, because this is written over here. With the print statement, I have used it. Remember here, I had not used it while inputting the value. No message. But when I printed it using the message, fourth value Y. Then the fifth value C dollar. Okay. Now this fifth value over here, C dollar, right? St. Paul's Mala Road, Kota. This is St. Paul's Mala Road. If you're wondering why is it coming in the next line, this is coming in the next line because there is no space here. So please don't confuse. I had to enlarge this. In your computers, ahead of fifth value, it will come St. Paul's Mala Road, Kota. In mine, it is coming in the next line because I have enlarged the screen for your viewing. Then sixth value 123 Dadabadi. This was already entered over here, which was a D dollar. And city name Z dollar, if you remember, we entered Jaipur. So seventh value is Jaipur. So this is what is numeric constants and string constants all about, along with numeric variables and string variables. So in today's class, as you can see, I'll now shut the screen. I'll stop the screen sharing, and tomorrow I will once again give you a revision of this, and then we'll do the if then else statement also, so that we can go further. So that is all for today's class, and I hope you have understood whatever has been explained. So today I explained to you not only the statements, what is a let statement, what is an input statement, what is a print statement, and what is a rem statement, along with the last statement, which is always the end statement. So once again, let statement used with constants, input statement used with variables. Constants, two types, numeric constant and string constants. Variables, also of two types, numeric variables and string variables. And when you print it, you can print it using the print statement. You can print a constant, which is used with let, also with print, and you can use the print statement to print a variable, which is also entered using the input statement. So I hope you will practice this for today. Tomorrow's class, when I come back, I'll explain to you a little about the different type of operators. We'll do some little calculations. Then we'll try to use the operators, and if possible, we will try to use the if then else portion, how to use the if then else statement. So that is all for today's class, and I hope you have understood, and stay safe and stay healthy. That is all for today. Thank you and goodbye.